Hi guys, I'm
Hello.
I'm Darcee. Welcome to STEM Group.
Hello, and I'm Linda. Welcome, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about and making our own sensory jars.
So by now you've all received your kits on how to make the sensory jar, and we're also going to talk a little bit about mindfulness to go along with our sensory jars.
Because that's the main reason for the sensory jars or the calming jars. From my personal experience was that like people take the time to look at their jar and like really focus on what's in their jar, how much it weighs, what's inside there. And it's just like a few seconds of the day that you can just look at your jar and see what's inside and remember what's inside and be mindful, present, and focus, which doesn't happen very often throughout the day, but if we give it those 10 seconds, then we're good. We're mindful. All right, do we want to get started on the sensory jar directions?
Yep.
Cool.
So in your kit you got a bottle, and there's going to be glitter and some beads in there as well. The recipe for your jar is going to be light corn syrup, or another thick liquid, another part hot water, and another part oil. So you can use vegetable oil. Olive oil is kind of neat because it has a green tint to it. You can also use canola oil, or you can actually use baby oil as well. You're going to add your parts equally to your bottle, so they'll all be the same amount. What I did was poured the water in my bottle and then emptied it into a measuring cup, so I knew how much to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Math was never my strong point. Also, once you've done that, you're going to add your glitter or your beads or anything really you have around the house. I used some colored rocks that I had. So really your jar is going to come out however you want it to. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. It's really about the experience of creating one.
So we both did one. Darcee's was way better than mine because she actually followed instructions and went step by step. And then I just winged it. I was just seeing what would happen. So, Darcee, do you want to show them yours first?
Okay, so I actually did two of them. So my first one, I used 1 part light corn syrup, and then the next part hot water, and then the next part vegetable oil. I then added some, I don't know if you guys can see that, I added some food coloring, which went way further than I thought it would. So it looks a little too dark on the bottom for me. And then to add on top of that, my rocks were blue. So I got a very, very blue outcome. It looks a little clouded here, which is really neat. When I made this, just so you guys know, I shook it immediately, and I wish I had it. because I think if I would have let it set and everything separate, possibly it would have come out a little different. So just a tip, you might not want to shake vigorously after you do your jar.
Cool. Do you want to shake it now and see what it does?
Yeah, we can shake it.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Okay. It's moving around. I can see a little bit of bubbles right there.
Yep.
Like the oil bubbles. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Slowly but surely, it'll start to separate again.
And then you can also add, depending on what you want to put in your sensory jar, you can add other things to it. I think in your bags you're going to have some like beads and like little knickknacks, but you can also find other things around your house that you're okay with getting wet in your sensory jar. So for myself, I did somewhat similar of a process. Not too much. I added more regular tap water. It was not warm. It was just like whatever it was on. And then I added a little bit of corn oil to it. And then in your packets, you're probably going to see something like this. That's like paint / gel, glittery stuff. And I thought, well, I'm just going to throw this in there and see what happens. So this is what happened. You can see, like, I only added a little bit of oil. This is the amount that I added here. And the rest of this is all water that's cold right now. And then when I put in this, it just went in like gloppy and it fell to the bottom of my my bottle, and it didn't do anything for a while. Even when I would shake it, it would just like stay in that gloppy form. So I was like, well, maybe that's not going to work. But when I looked at it later this morning, the glop had dissolved, and some of the glitter kind of like evened out. Maybe if I put more of this, it'll be super glittery for you guys to see or experience with for yourself. So if you want to throw all of this in there and see what happens, then go ahead and do that. We'll see it. This is kind of nerve-wracking. Like, you can kind of see the bubbles, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, very. Yeah. But that was just me winging it without instructions,
right.
Which is fine because this is the STEM group. There's going to be a bunch of times where we do a really good job and we get the results we want, and then like the next 90% of the time we're not going to get the results that we want. We're just going to have to keep trying over and over again, which is definitely what science and research is all the time. You just have to keep trying over and over again.
Absolutely.
Okay,
do you want to see my second bottle?
Yes, let's see it.
So this one I did a little differently. This one I did half vegetable oil and half hot water, and that was it. And a little bit of food coloring. I can't stress enough, a little bit goes such a long ways, and I'm not sure if the oil enhances it, but it could definitely tell. So I've been wanting to flip this thing upside down, so I'm going to do it now.
Yeah, do it. Oh, okay. You know, that one looks good.
See, so I was nervous to do that for a while because I wanted you guys to see it the way I did it. But now this is kind of cool. This is kind of neat to see the bubbles float. So have fun with it. You make more than one. I made one and I was like, I got to do that again.
You know what that looks like? It looks like a lava lamp.
Isn't it? I know.
I wonder if you can put like a really bright flashlight underneath it and like see if it like has the same look to it. Maybe we'll try it later. How that works out. Or maybe one of you guys can try it and see what happens. Tell us what happens.
Yep, let us know.
Cool. Well, when we were researching sensory jars, we were looking to see like directions and ingredients that you guys would need, but we also came across something really interesting when it comes to sensory jars. They don't have to be just liquid. they could be really anything that you want to put in a jar. So I came across a few that were like, you could take a bottle and put like a bunch of rice in there and then put other little knickknacks in there, whether you want to put beads or money or anything like that. You can do beans or, let me see, sand. There's also one where I saw that you can use like small pasta, and you just put it in there, make yourself a little funnel with like a piece of paper and just pour it in there. Make sure that your parents are okay with you guys using this stuff first. I don't want your parents to be like, where did all the rice go? And you're like, here in my sensory jar. Do you need it? That's unfortunate. But one that I came across was a nature themed sensory jar. So I decided to like give it a try and see how it worked out. So it was okay, like my first try with the other sensory jar. So what I did is I gathered a bunch of stuff around my backyard. My mistake, I realize now, was putting dirt that was still a little wet, still a little damp. So when I finished making my jar, when I looked at it this morning, like the dirt was like clumping onto the glass. So you can't really see it, but this is what I came up with. Like, this is my nature-y sensory jar. And then if I open it, you're able to see better like all the grass and stuff that I used in there. And I also used a lot of flowers that I saw there, which I think if I were to do this again, I would not add in the dirt. I could add in anything else too, though. I can add in sand or that rice stuff too. Or I could just leave it with the leaves and the flowers, and you can see that a lot better. This is still considered a sensory jar for you guys to do and use. So that's what we came up with. We're very excited to see what you guys do. Remember, you guys can do whatever like is good with you. If you want to do the rice one, if you want to use water, if you want to use something else, if you have a method that works a lot better than what we've been doing, then go ahead and do that, and then tell us next time we see each other. I'm so excited to see all of this.
I am too, because I thought about just how excited I got doing these two bottles, and then now everything I see, I'm like, oh, that'll fit in a jar.
That'll work better. Yeah, for sure. So use what you guys have. Don't go out don't go out purchasing other things. Just use what you have at home, and you'll be successful eventually. Yeah. Maybe on like the second or third try like us. We had to do this a couple times to get it right. But other than that, I think we're good. Yeah. Do you want to add anything else?
Just that I'm excited as well, and I can't wait to meet everybody on Thursday.
Me too. So excited. All right, you guys, have a fun, safe time doing this. We're so excited. Make us proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.